ഈ വെള്ളപ്പൊക്കത്തിൽപ്പെട്ടവർ സിനിമ കാണാനായിട്ട് ഇപ്പം തന്നെ തിയേറ്ററിലേക്ക് വരുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാൻ മാത്രം മണ്ടന്മാരൊന്നുമില്ല ഞങ്ങൾ. ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നത് മനുഷ്യത്വത്തിന്. ഞങ്ങൾക്കൊക്കെ ഒറ്റ മതമേ ഉള്ളൂ, ഒറ്റ പാർട്ടിയേ ഉള്ളൂ, അത് മനുഷ്യത്വമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ഇതിൻ്റെ പേരിൽ നിങ്ങളും ഞങ്ങളുടെ സിനിമകളൊന്നും കണ്ടില്ലെങ്കിലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് പബ്ലിസിറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയാണെന്ന് മാത്രം പറയരുത്. സങ്കടമുണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ ഇതെല്ലാം ചെയ്ത് കണ്ട് കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒന്നും വേണ്ട, നിങ്ങൾ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സിനിമയും കാണണ്ട, ഞങ്ങളിത് ചെയ്തോളാം.
I wondered for the longest time whether Indian films will have the capability to match the scale of international films while covering calamities and natural disasters which compel a society to, despite their differences, join hands with one another and persevere from severe hardship. Whether Indian cinema can match the production value of a movie like Day After Tomorrow that showcases an entire city like New York enveloped and ravaged by a flood, while movies like Kai Po Che and Kedarnath have only presented the disasters as a means to heighten the final act. There was nothing as close to the 2019 Malayalam film Virus directed by Ashik Abu that showcased an exceptionally emotional journey of how Kerala curtailed the outbreak of the Nipah virus in the state, a case of an entire population working for its own people with great persistence and bravery. Little did I know that the movie I will be stepping in for this weekend was much more than just a disaster film. It's a movie covering a recent tragedy in the state of Kerala that hits so close to home for so many people as one has loved ones or their own personal anecdotes of how they overcome this dreaded event that scarred them in 2018. Referred to as God's own country, Kerala on 16th August 2018 suffered its worst flood ever since what is termed as the Great Flood of 99 that severely affected the state in 1924. Unexpected torrential rainfall, reservoir storage being close to 90% of its potential even before the travesty started, and several dams after years being released. No one expected such a major travesty that would take the lives of over 480 people. 2018, a movie directed by Jude Anthony Joseph, showcases a similar lineup of a stacked up and talented Malayalam cast, like Virus, that portrays several individual subplots of how a population worked in collective spirit to overcome this tragedy. There is genuine personal connection that I felt in the atmosphere as I was sitting in a packed theatre with Keralites who identified the anecdotes showcased in the film and deeply resonate with the motto of this movie: everyone is a hero, where one looks beyond one's faith, color and backdrop and puts humanity on a pedestal, especially when one is in dire need of just a helping hand. I got slightly worried during the opening minutes of this film, wondering whether the creators have taken too much on their plate. Too many characters, too many personal motives, and it all being tough to fully justify while shedding light on the calamity. But the screenplay of this film, especially on how it shapes up in the second half, is something to commend, because not only is it riveting from a thriller and disaster film standpoint, but is emotionally immersive, genuinely emotionally connecting you to the character and wishing that they end up victorious in the end. You've got an ex-army man who has inspiration of settling in Dubai, a troubled marriage but still a sense of love that prevails in the relationship, an outsider's apathy towards the state and its people, and how one acknowledges brotherhood being the need of the hour, a couple and its journey raising a differently abled child, and the case of the family dynamic of fishermen and the heroic strides that they take to save their own. I marveled at the production value of this film being no short of its international counterparts. The cinematography by Akhil George will really leave you spellbound. All the frames have a dark, desolate and grey tonality that is reflective of the film's mood, absolutely devoid of hope, and the frames are further enhanced with the way the scenes are staged. Characters pass by neighborhoods in rescue missions on their rafts and boats. The environment mimics a post-apocalyptic world where several districts are more or less underwater. Every time characters seem to be cornered, there being little to no solution for their circumstances, the camera pans away, highlighting the dread that surrounds them, giving this aerial view a chilling feeling of how possibly the state of Kerala overcomes such a drastic event. The film highlights the reality of those who live by the coast, the second nature with which they move to relief camps when the tide is high. This acts as a plot point for the fishermen and how they are perceived by the sections of society, beautifully culminating into a callback where one acknowledges the assets that they are. While the film exceptionally portrays several stratas of society despite their position, all dealing with one adversity, I think the film did falter with its subplot of a tour guide traveling with Polish tourists. The foreign actors really did put forth a highly energetic and almost annoying portrayal of a blissfully unaware couple that can't seem to acknowledge the tragedy that surrounds them. I guess the point was to highlight their ignorance, but the performance could have been far more subtle than the almost nauseating pitch at which the dialogues were being delivered. It is in the second half where the film takes the shape of being no shorter than a masterclass, not only in terms of storytelling but technical prowess. A screenplay is so engaging that one can't help but be nervous at the several events showcased. What really stands out, and this essentially becomes the core essence of the film, is the willingness of the people of the state to contribute in their own way to help, showcasing the human spirit to work together and the belief that no tragedy is strong enough to break their prevailing tendency. The commentary on global warming also becomes abundantly clear, as the rain that once marked such a sigh of relief for a population is now seen with dread and misery. There are several moments in the film that naturally made the audience clap with joy and pride. The fishermen and their willingness to contribute at their personal expense, the beautiful moment of even family despite their previous differences joining hands with one another. This especially works so well with the subplot of the father-son duo portrayed by Lal and Asif Ali. While other actors like Kunchako Boban, Vineet Srinivasan and Kalya Rasan put forth stellar acts, I really have to say that Tovino Thomas and the couple raising the differently abled child really stand out as the soul of this film. It's such a beautiful story if you think about Tovino and the way he's portrayed in this film, especially when you put into context the way he contributed personally in helping people during the actual floods in 2018. In this film, putting his ex-army experience to use, Tovino is like a sensitive superhero, having the exterior of a boy next door but the physical capability of a man who can help you in any circumstance. The sequence of a helicopter rescue mission and him swimming through the trenches to save people dearest to him really is a beautiful sight to witness, of an actor for whom this story may have been so personal. While the end broke me, I cannot commend the creators and especially director Jude Anthony Joseph enough of telling this exceptional story of human perseverance and unity of a state that worked hand in hand with one another, knowing very well that there is no force that can break their spirit. This definitely has to be one of my favorite and most riveting theatre experiences in 2023.
നമ്മുടെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പടത്തിലൊക്കെ കാണുമല്ലേ, അത് ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് ആ പ്രണയം പക്ക തിയേറ്ററിനകത്തൊരു പ്രണയം കണ്ട ഒരു ഫീൽ ആയിരുന്നു. ക്ലൈമാക്സ് ഒക്കെ ഈ ടൊവിനോ സീരിയസ്ലി എല്ലാവരും പ്രണയം സ്റ്റാർ അത് നമ്മൾ കളിയാക്കിയില്ലേ, ഈ പടം വന്നൊന്ന് കണ്ടുക്കും പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു അക്ഷരം പറയൂലോ.